You know what? I've been listening to Christmas music, and so
jumping right
I know.
in with the Christmas music.
On Halloween Day, I played Vince Giraldi or whatever his name is, the Peanuts Christmas.
Yes,
it's just
a
like
classic.
so iconic.
It's so iconic, and the whole album actually.
Oh my gosh!
Like, actually, you know, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Yes,
There's some really good stuff on that one.
Bangers.
Like, well, not even
the remix.
I don't know about bangers.
We remix those songs.
Oh my God. There's this one little cute tune called Little Birdie that's like so cute.
Oh, I know.
I love that.
I love that song. And I used to tell Andrew, because Gizmo, R.I.P.
Yeah.
was before my dog Texas. So Gizmo, I got him when I was 23. And I was always like, that song, because I always said that he was the Woodstock to Shasta's Snoopy.
Yeah.
And that song was always like his song.
Yeah, little birdie.
Little birdie.
Oh,
why do you fly upside down? It's a banger.
It's a banger, everyone. Okay, hi everybody.
Hi everyone.
Especially if you're a new listener here.
Oh my gosh, it's the most wonderful time.
It really is. Oh my gosh.
Of the year.
All these gifts in November,
the gifts.
December.
I mean, the colors.
Yeah. So this,
I was like to Andrew, I was like, why can't I be lit by how they were lit in Cancun? Did you notice like how they look?
Everyone looks incredible.
Like an Instagram filter.
Okay, so like for new listeners, the name of this podcast is Family Karma Cast with a K.
Sure.
I'm Indra.
I'm Deanna.
And we started this podcast at the start of season 1 of Family Karma, and we recap every episode, and we are the biggest fans of the show.
Go back. Take a journey.
Listen back to our recaps, and we're thrilled.
I mean, we go as far back as we found out on mic when Tom Hanks got COVID, and life's changed forever.
We found out. It was like the start of COVID.
Tom Hanks has COVID, and I thought COVID was supposed to only last for 2 weeks.
Oh, we all did. Remember when we were like, oh, it'll be normal by summer? And here we are, like,
jokes on us.
Oh my God. So
anyway, but we're on the other side.
Yeah, kind of. Now it's like, so for
now
those of you who,
season 3 of Family Karma.
Yes, it's season 3 of Family Karma. Finally, over a year after season 2 ended, and
so wild.
Here we are. The premiere dropped on Sunday. It was supersized. Vishal was on Watch What Happens Live, which was like, that may not sound like a big deal.
Who was he on with?
With Dr. Wendy from Potomac. And
then did Dr. Wendy sit closest to Andy and then Vishal further away?
Okay, so here it's a win because in the first 2 seasons of Family Karma, Amrit was the only person to ever be on Watch What Happens Live, which is ridiculous. Right. And then they had like a Zoom Watch What Happens Live, which was like sort of supposed to be kind of like a reunion. It was bullshit.
Oh yeah, that was garbage.
Yeah. So the fact that they're like with the premiere having Vishal on is like, okay, this is good. It was on Zoom. Wendy and Vishal were on Zoom.
Wait, why?
Which is because I don't fucking know. Like, because whenever there's an opportunity to like showcase Family Karma, they're like, how can we make this not as great as it could be? Like, how can we like shortchange this cast and this show a little bit more?
You know what I was also saying is like, I think it's like also since like, you know, Bravo's a whiteout.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, like two people of color in Andy's like clubhouse or whatever. Like I was thinking of that and like just like, and it's like, oh, it was on Zoom. Like that sucks.
It was on fucking Zoom, and like, we'll talk about the episode because I watched it and took notes on some of the stuff that was interesting. It's so funny, like the episodes.
How do you say his name or pronounce his name?
Who?
You said Vishal.
Vishal, yeah.
We never know with Andy.
Oh, he said Vishal.
You know what I mean? Because he didn't say. I remember when he said Richa. He called her something.
Risha.
And
he calls Amrit Amrit. which I sort of understand a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, also, I need to apologize, everybody. I've had a cough for like my whole life and it won't go away. So I'm sorry.
And you just
I sound
had a
like
baby.
shit.
We got a new baby Karma.
Oh yeah. So baby news. For those of you who have been listening,
we should have led with that. But
well, we talked about it like off mic before we got on here. But I had my baby on his due date, Halloween. Woo, woo, woo. So I got my little baby pumpkin. His name is...
Oh, my goodness.
He's so cute. His name is
He's
Lex.
such a pumpkin.
And he's a very good baby so far. And yeah, I mean, we're just like 8 days into this thing.
And we're just adding to the Karma fam.
We are. He's already a fan. He watched the premiere with me in the middle of the night while he was nursing. So, you know.
Welcome, baby doll, to the Bravo universe.
He's there. He's been hearing Bravo in utero. And
oh, my gosh.
You know,
and the shows that he will deep dive into at 2 a.m. or whenever.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Who the fuck knows?
Oh, my God. It's all happening.
Is he going to get a winter house? Is he going to know, like...
He's going to know them all. He's going to know them all.
He's going to know all their names. And thank God he will never know people like Jax, you know, their voice and like all those garbage people.
Except I keep hearing that Jax and Brittany might get their own spin-off show or something.
No.
I would
probably
not
their
watch
PR
that.
just pushing it.
Yeah.
And they've already had their own spin-off show and no one cares. And speaking of, can I just talk about rumors are that Brandy or Lisa might come back to Beverly Hills and they'll put Rinna as a family or a friend of. Did you hear that?
Oh, no. I'm okay with Brandy coming back. I don't ever want to see Lisa again. And so that's another thing about our podcast is that we do talk about other Bravo shows and reality TV
we go
and
off
pop
on
culture.
Tangents because it's like there's so many layers. You know, it's like the Big Mac. You can't have the patty without talking about the secret sauce. I'm not like a Big Mac person, but like you can't. And like if Bravo's the Big Mac, we got to talk about does it have sesame seeds on the...
It's all together. It's all
because
intertwined.
There's so many parallels, you know?
Yes. But let's get into the premiere and let's talk about it.
And I'm going to pull up my notes. Okay, so first of all, we are in Cancun and it snowed last week in Colorado. We're talking 4 inches.
Oh, yeah. We had like
down in South Boulder.
A real snowstorm.
The fact that Indra and I were whisked away
to Cancun.
I looked... If you were looking at flights while you were watching this, raise your hand. I was looking at Costco Travel.
Yes.
Not going to lie. And seeing what deals there were and when I could get down to Cancun. So Bravo and Vishal and Richa for...
And this wedding. Oh, my God. So the other thing is like, I don't think we need to talk about what all the different events are today because we did like a whole episode about it.
Go back babies.
In January of this year. So go back to that episode. We talked all about like what the events are, what the significance is.
And how much we perceived the wedding to cost.
Yes. And
you know
Vishal,
which is like, I was looking ching, ching, ching.
Vishal did say during Watch What Happens Live, one of the questions was like, you were drinking so much, like, did you ever think that like Richa was like gonna call off the wedding because of it? Which I thought was such a dumb question. No. But
wait, Andy asked that?
Yeah, or it was like a fan question or something, whatever. And Vishal was like, no, like we've been together for 10 years. She like knows what she's signing up for. And also we spent so much money on this wedding. She's not gonna like bail right now. And I'm like, okay, so
and I'm glad that Bravo didn't make that tension.
Yeah.
You know, because Bravo producers could have edited it in a way and, and it would have been unrealistic. So.
No, it's like, I think, so let's talk about that. It's like a huge part of this episode was everyone being like, oh, finally, after 10 years, they're getting married, which just, it really like pissed me off. I was just like,
I know.
Listen, like it's normal for people like who meet in their early to mid 20s to wait 10 years to get married.
Yeah.
Like,
or don't get married.
Yeah, or don't,
you know what I mean?
Don't get married and start a family, or
it's a
just live their lives. Yeah.
Live your lives, set up your wills so each other gets whatever, and
I'm seeing it as this is their time to have a 4.5 day super party with all of their friends and family.
Celebrate them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not oh, now they're finally committed to each other.
No, I think that's garbage.
They've had their ups and downs, which we even saw on the show, but never for once did I think these two were not going to end up going far with each other. So,
and I think it's easy to judge, and we've talked about this before, other people's journey of how they get from point A to point B to point Z.
Yep.
And that's a little pearl clutching, and granted we're gonna dissect those, but we do it jokingly because I mean, fudge, if you could see I'm not going to include both of us. If you could see my journey of how I got to this point in my life, it makes their journey look like a fucking Hallmark. You know what I mean? Movie. And mine is a disaster zone, and so we are going to kind of talk about it jokingly, but it is half serious, and it's not, we don't have room for, we're not going to like your tweet or admire your post on Instagram if you're fucking being spiteful and hateful.
No, that is very true.
Is that okay to
positive
say?
Space. Yes.
Yeah. And these people are revealing,
true.
I am going to talk about Anisha not revealing enough. Don't worry, we're going to get to that.
Oh no, we need to talk about that.
But we all mean, these people have, in a sense, opened their lives up to us, and they are I hope you don't mind I'm going off, but they're creating a space in reality show that South Asian Americans have never been in. And so it's they fucking have a pocket knife and they're fucking in the jungle of Bravo and reality and television.
Yes.
So fucking we're saluting them.
Yes.
Is that okay to say?
No.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a huge...
But don't worry, I'm going to get into Anisha. I love the girl, but let us the fuck
Anisha is kind of getting a villain edit. Do you think? I am
just what is going on?
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay, so
sorry.
They're all getting ready and everything. I loved when Anushka, Bali's daughter, was I can't get out of bed or I'll get a sunburn. I was I have never related.
Anushka, can I come to your house and your apartment in New York City? Can you do my eyelashes?
Oh my gosh.
Can we talk about what's the deal? Anushka, go on Instagram Live.
Do a tutorial.
Do your eyelashes. And tell us how to do it. I've never worn lashes before. I'm afraid they'll rip out my eyelashes. How do you know what I mean?
I am exactly the same. I mean, I also I don't even wear eye makeup. Well, I don't wear a lot of makeup to begin with, or I don't wear any, but in the times that I've tried eye makeup, it irritates my eyes so badly that I feel lashes would throw me over an edge.
And again, we need Bali. Okay, so we need the Vogue. You know that Vogue mirror where it's this is what I do in a day.
Yeah.
This is my face wash. So I need Anushka and Bali in a room.
Yes.
In that bathroom. And then I need Anushka doing her eyelashes. And I would love to see Bali's skincare regime. And I'm not calling Bali old because we're around the same age.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to see what she does.
And I want to see O'Malley's commentary too. I want him to
I would like to see his... Yeah. I feel he would just be in the background looking at his phone. That's very O'Malley vibes.
But also being supportive in a way. You know what I mean? Kind of being there without really engaging. That type of thing.
Yes. And I appreciated O'Malley wearing the scarf.
Yeah.
Did you get that little touch?
Everyone was dressed to the nines, whether they were South Asian or not.
Don't get me. We'll get to the yellow. Oh my
God, the Haldi ceremony was incredible. Everyone looked so
we'll
beautiful.
Let's talk about checking in, because I do. It was forward in the episode, but when Vishal's mom was going on over the details,
yes,
and Lopa auntie was sitting in the background with her luggage, staring off into space, like completely unattached. I was like, this is the moment.
Oh my God, the Lopa.
This is why we watch
Lopa auntie and Reshma auntie, like. I have never seen two women who are more different, I think.
But how would you, it's like, it's an evolution of their relationship, but it's undefinable.
Yeah, I don't, because they clearly like get along enough to like mingle with one another. Like, so the Family Karma cast had their watch parties, but they had like different ones. So like, Anisha and Brian hosted one in New York City.
This is so they were at Caroline's, right?
Yes.
What is okay? And this is
total
another
left
thing.
Turn. Like Anisha and
Why
Brian
are they
now
having
besties.
a confessional together?
They're besties now.
Literally, Anisha and Vishal. The show opens up.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 1 of
Anisha texting
when we're on
Vishal
the shitter
from the
on the shitter. We're taking shits and texting each other. To literally Anisha being like, we're going to get to it. Being like, I don't know if I'm going to come to your wedding.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it.
So I think Anisha has maybe created I think there's some tension between Anisha and a lot of people. And it makes sense to me that Brian would be able to cut through that, because I feel like Brian is one of these people who's just like, he's down to like be nice to everybody. He's
nice to everyone. He's just, and we and you can go back to another episode, new listeners, where we talked to Brian.
Oh my God,
and he pulled the same line with Avni that he pulled with us, asking
how old
if we
are
were
you?
26.
Oh my God, I thought
Did
of
you
that.
get that?
I thought of that. He was like, he was being so nice to us. He was like, how old are you guys? And we're like,
in your 20s?
And we're like, what?
And he pulled the same thing with Avni. And we say
thing.
to Brian, that's the right
Go
move.
forth.
Go for it. And that was another, like, you can't make this shit up when he goes in for the kiss.
Oh.
And she just kind of, okay, but we'll get to it.
Well,
we'll get to
okay.
it. So we're in Cancun,
I need to
day
ask
1.
you about, so I think we talked about this in our wedding coverage episode, but I just have to say it again. Vishal taking out Richa's tampon.
That was a big bold in my notes. Okay. So so this is what I'm feeling.
Okay.
So I watched the episode last night because I had school.
Yeah.
And I'm in school in Denver. And I came home and I watched it and I was like, okay. Like, I feel like Andrew would do that. I know this sounds disgusting, or it's not. Fuck it. It's like, you know what?
I could say Patrick would do it, I think, if I needed it.
People are looking to get into, like, men are looking to get into our reproductive rights and whatever. And if you want to go there, Ted Cruz, take out our tampon, okay?
Absolutely. What I thought was really funny and sort of telling, though, was that Vishal thought he was taking it out of her butthole.
Exactly. And everyone, if you want to go and see how, and I don't want to generalize, but what men think about a tampon, go to the Female Collective in their stories today on November 8th.
Okay.
A Female Collective reporter goes, or maybe it's a TikTok, goes and interviews men. I think it's in Tompkins Square Park in New York City, I'm guessing, because that's what it looks like, and asks men questions about tampons. And their responses are like, and Cousin Mary, who's also a very steadfast person.
Yes.
I'll just say she's both of our cousins. We're just going to generalize. Cousin Mary, and she's your cousin too.
Cousin Mary's my cousin too. I claim her.
And audience's cousin.
We love Cousin Mary.
And so the first question was, can women pee with a tampon in? And the men's answers were just...
What?
The men were like, no way. There's no way they can pee. They have to take it out. And these men are voting today on Tuesday, November.
Okay, so this is like a PSA, I think.
I know. Like, I'm sorry to go off, but like, yes, men should
yourself.
know.
Here's what you need to know. Women have 3 holes. We pee, we have a vagina, and we have a butthole. And the tampon goes in the vagina. That's where you have sex with a woman.
Yes.
That's where everything goes down. And it does not impede our ability to pee and poop. And no, Vishal was not pulling that tampon out of Rich's butthole.
I know.
Oh my God. That is wild. I have to watch that.
But I thought that was perfect for, okay, can we talk about, okay, I'm a white person. I should also establish that.
Yeah.
What takes 7 hours?
To get ready? Oh.
With the henna. Okay.
Oh, with the henna. Okay, well, did you see how intricate the design was?
So how long does it take to dry?
Well, like it starts drying pretty much right away after it's been applied, but you need it to like set. So what you ideally want to do is after you've had it, I mean, she had so much done, probably just even having it put on took like 3-4 hours. And then
it was gorgeous.
To sit with it on for as long as you can take it. So, which means you can't use your hands at all.
Yeah.
And like they did put like wraps on it to keep it from getting messed up. And you put this like oil on it too that helps make it a darker color. And then she probably had it on overnight and then she scraped it off in the morning. That's what I am assuming happened. So she probably slept with it on. But yeah, so it's like when you get mehndi done and you want it to like be done right.
Yeah.
It takes a really...
Can someone text us if they find out who did it? I want to know the artist that did it.
We do know. Actually, if you look in our Instagram like post from the wedding time.
Yeah.
I have a whole list of like the vendors who did all the different things in the wedding. Do you think they flew them
down?
It's
probably,
I feel like they were maybe people who... So this whole thing was done with this company called Shadi Destinations. And I think that they have a bunch of vendors that they work with. And I think maybe they were actually local. Like they specialize in South Asian weddings in Mexico. But I'm not sure. So...
and she said it was traditional and she got it up to her elbows.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah. And I thought I love traditional mehndi the most. Yeah. I think the modern stuff doesn't do it for me. I think just the traditional designs and intricate things are just so beautiful. And it looked really amazing, I thought.
It did. Incredible.
Okay, so Brian didn't bring his own clothes and his mom had to bring them for him. Or he ordered them, but he ordered them too late. This is like so typical, like Brian, or like,
wow,
kid living at home, not paying attention that like you can't order your outfits 2 weeks before the event or whatever. And when she like slapped him, I was like, that's like Dharma auntie is like such an Indian mom. It is unreal. I just love her so much. And she is so fucking gorgeous.
I know.
She is like so
the whole family.
Beautiful.
The whole family it's a gorgeous family.
I know. I love seeing all of them interact with each other. It's so cute.
Yeah. And I want to say during that time, we also saw Bali in her first confessional look, which I wrote down. She looked like a South Asian Barbie. Like, so she had this like gold, no, it was a black dress. And then she had gold gloves. But on the gloves, it had this like poofy thing that was like made from my childhood dreams. It was like a poofy, like gold detail on the gloves, on the black gloves. And I was like, I would want to wear that when I was 8 and I want to wear that when I'm 9.
Oh my God.
Like in my 40s.
Yeah. I think Bali is looking amazing as she always does. And when she was talking about like the amount of outfits they needed, because there were so many events and she had 2 outfit choices for each event. Like it's true. Like Indian weddings, these outfits, especially for women, are so big and heavy. And it's not just the outfit, it's the shoes, it's the jewelry, like that needs to be packed as a certain way. Like there's so much involved in it that like, I'm glad that they took a couple minutes just to kind of acknowledge that like getting ready for an Indian wedding, even if you're just a guest, is like sort of a big ordeal. And there were 2 events every day, so it's like
that's crazy.
She
recognized. Sorry, I just want to say that she used her wedding dress as the skirt on the Christmas tree is very important.
You know what? You gotta reuse and recycle.
Oh yes, I mean like. I'm sure it's gorgeous. Take a picture this Christmas.
It's perfect. It's red.
Yes.
It has like beautiful detailing, I'm sure.
And you know how people are like, after they divorce, they're like, fuck this person. They burn everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, we're going to use this to celebrate.
No. And I'm sure that her lehenga for her wedding cost an arm and a leg, just knowing who she married and all of this.
I want to feel how much it like weighs. That whole.
This stuff is so heavy. Like it adds like several pounds and you're just carrying it around with you the whole night. It's really, it's intense. Okay. So let's see. The amount of drinking going on in this episode.
I'm kind of for it. I was in my mind. I was there drinking.
I was like, wow, that looks so much fun. And then seeing the hangovers, I was like, seeing Vishal fall. Oh my God. I was like, I can't.
Oh my God.
I think I would have died if I went to that wedding.
I know. And that's where the drinking helps, because if you do that if you fall like that and you're drinking, you don't feel it.
You don't until the next day when you notice the bruises and oh my God. Like.
And then him on the ring.
Whoa.
Remember the acrobat ring?
So that was something that I did not perceive from the photos and videos from the actual wedding.
That it was going to be Cirque du Soleil or whatever.
It was literally Cirque du Soleil. And Amrit being like, okay, so this is not going to be at our wedding. Like, just so you know, I was like, this is so funny. He's like, our wedding is probably going to be the exact opposite of this. And I'm like... But I feel like it's so like Vishal and Richa, I love them because I think they are like performers, and I don't mean that in like a derogatory way at all. I feel like
they're
Richa
fun.
Like lives to be on stage and perform. Like she's a great dancer. She's like, that's a huge part of who she is. And I think Vishal loves being the life of the party. And it's just like, this is the wedding they wanted. Anyway, what were you going to say?
And I never forget when Richa, when they were on the party bus.
Yeah.
Was it season 1? And she saw the guy with the motorcycle and she was just like, yeah, let's do this.
Oh my God.
Let's get on. Let's do a little spin.
Oh my God.
And it's the same party bus where Vishal was pole dancing. So it's like, that's the couple that are going to have like
this wedding,
the performers and get up on stage. And that's the thing. Like, I think in like, Western culture, there's a little bit of embarrassment about dancing and like getting up on a stage and performing. A little bit
of embarrassment.
Yes, okay, so a lot. And but there's so much like just like lose all of your ego.
Yeah.
Like fuck that. Like get up
and
dance.
That is why I was so fucking thrilled with Lopa Auntie's solo dance. Like that takes some balls. Like you can say whatever you want about her that like,
and she looks great, by the way.
She looks fantastic.
I don't know what she did was or like, whatever.
I'm going to get up there by myself in front of hundreds of people on this stage and I'm going to dance. Like I'm going to dance.
I know. She's going to dance when Brian's dad is not going to dance.
No. Oh, my God. That scene when Brian was imitating his dad, like,
oh, my God.
I was like, I literally laughed out loud. I was like, this is...
I feel like I would be like Brian's dad. Like, everyone would be getting it, and I'd be like the stiff one, like out of time.
Oh, my God.
And I was actually... Can you answer this question?
Yeah.
Did Bali dance with the parents or did she dance with the kids?
I don't
not being ageist.
I don't remember seeing her dance. Was she dancing?
I didn't see her. I was like when the parents came on. I was like, I didn't see
she
Bali.
Wasn't with the parents. She definitely was not with the parents. If anyone, I think she may have been with like Amrit and Vishal, like the kids, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, and the thing I get bummed about is like just because of copywriting and all that kind of jazz. Is I wish I got to hear the songs rather than the Bravos interpretation of the songs.
I know. You just know it's like this is not what they were playing at that wedding. Like what?
And it was funny because it was the Bravo songs with the clapping, and it was like, let's just get the whole vibe.
They're like, we can't even mess with these Bollywood royalties. Like what are we doing? But okay, so then there's this Anisha thing where it's like,
I can't.
Where is Anisha?
Well, let's talk about, okay, so everyone's like, I haven't seen her. I haven't really heard from her.
And Bali in her confessional, I was so surprised to hear her say that they had drifted apart a little bit. Like, because they were like thick as thieves, And I think they still are in many ways, but like, even Anisha had created.
Is that like if I ghosted you? Is that like if I ghosted you? And
was
like, bye?
I mean, especially like the Vishal and Anisha connection, and like Bali and Anisha. It's like, yeah, if I had like a friend that I talked to every single day, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, bye, and like no information about my life, and I have a big like wedding coming up,
and I moved.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you moved to Scottsdale?
The lack of information that people had in that moment was actually like, I knew fundamentally that this was happening. But actually to see people react that way, I was like, oh my God, this is real.
When Amrit was like, you moved to Scottsdale?
Yeah.
5 days ago?
Yeah. Nicholas.
And she's like, yeah.
Nicholas looked like he was like gonna like pass out or something when she said that. He was so shocked. It was hilarious.
Can I ask you, do you really think it's just the community that she's like, what do you think's going on from her podcast? Because I think it's more, but maybe it's just because
I agree. It's more than just the, everyone is in my business. Like, it is weird to marry someone without even like telling people about it.
And just to fine tune it. So remember, she's like, do you see a ring? Okay. So we kind of know the confessionals happened this summer.
Well, I think they've just been going like May through October.
But I thought she was engaged at least.
So she got engaged in May.
But like she was saying she didn't have a ring. Is she
had, so this filmed from January, the season filmed from January to the end of April, I believe.
Right.
So I think she got engaged right after, which I bet was on purpose. But I mean, there's a little bit of breaking the fourth wall when she's like, I can't say his name because she knows she's being filmed, and she's like, oh, he has an important job, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's going to get out.
Does Whitney. Well, I was thinking of Whitney Rose. And it's like Whitney Rose's dad could be her dad, but like Whitney Rose's husband, we all learned as Bravo fans, got fired because of it's pearl clutching, of him spanking Whitney on camera when she was in so he got fired from his job, but it's not like Family Karma is that kind of energy.
No,
it's not Wild Rose kind of energy.
No, there's not like super scandalous shit going on. And even if there is, like, from what I've heard, I think he's a doctor. So but
Anisha, it's tough. It's tough going on your journey.
Yes.
It's like, we're on the ride, and then we're going up the roller coaster, and we're like, yay, we're going up. We're going to do twists and turns.
Yeah.
And then the roller coaster stops on the uphill, and we're all told to get off and walk down the fucking stairs.
Well, the vibe that I don't love is that I feel like she's it feels like she's actively trying to like control everything in a way that like down to like in a way
really good point,
in a way
Indra.
that like doesn't that doesn't like, it doesn't matter for us, like we're not like in her life or anything, but like as the viewers, but like for Vishal,
you signed a contract
for Vishal.
Oh yes, for Vishal,
for his fucking wedding.
I know.
Like, you can RSVP on time.
I just like, again, it was 2 days before.
2 days before, she says, I booked, this is when I'm coming.
That's when I think it's more, okay, this is just me as the therapist in training.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was going on in her life? Because you know how sometimes, okay, so sometimes, like, say, like, if you're going through something that's a major life turning of the page.
Yeah.
And someone's like, hey, can you, like, come to my fill in the blank for their big event? And you're like, I can't even control what's going on in my life. I mean, you know, like, we know
we've all been there.
And
we've all been there.
And I'm just like, Indra, like, I can't even fucking see past, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
you need to just say that, though. And like, like she didn't.
I'm gonna go take my medication right now.
Yeah, it's that. It sounds
anxiety medication. Oh. Guys, meds are your friends. Okay.
Yes, they are.
Andrew went to King Soopers to pick it up, and now I got to take it.
Thanks, Andrew. What a husband.
We promote mental health on here.
Yes, we do. I just think that like it's really selfish. I'll just say it's really selfish.
Yes, there you go.
To not be able to see that like this is a huge life event, even for maybe a friend who I'm not that close with right now, but they have taken the time to invite you. We know
someone in each other's life. We both have talked about that friend that we're no longer close with.
Yeah.
That we were close with.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine if we're thinking about that person and that person was like, you want me to come to my wedding and used to be best friends and you texting like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is it's like you can see how hurt they were.
They were so.
It wasn't even like. And
Richa was pissed. You could tell.
See, I just saw it as pain and hurt. Obviously, she was pissed, but underneath it was just like this hurt my feelings.
Oh yeah, I mean that's absolutely what it is. It's like you really hurt our feelings. We planned this huge thing. We invited you. We wanted you to be here. Like
you have been there for like our whole development of our relationship.
Yeah, and it's just like when it comes to weddings, like I think etiquette is pretty important.
Yes.
To be able to just like tell people, am I coming or not? Or even I can't tell you right now because like this is what's going on. Like what would be what I'm confused about, I'm like, what is the harm of telling her that you're dating someone and navigating a move with them?
Wow.
Which is like, why couldn't she even tell Vishal that?
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I don't understand. Like, why do you need to control that part of the narrative too? I don't get it.
And it's interesting that like I guess it's interesting because I don't understand their relationships because obviously Bravo paints a picture of everyone's connection to each other.
Yeah.
But the confusion that we get after that episode of, okay, so Anisha and Brian are now very close.
Yes, now they're besties.
And I will say, I believe that Brian doesn't dig. And I don't mean digging as this bitchy like thing of like, oh my God, you got to tell me like, you know, the tea or whatever.
No. I think Brian sees the best in people.
And he's just going to be like, you don't want to tell me that, fine. Like,
yeah.
But
she did tell him
like,
that. He was one of the two people.
FaceTimed.
He was one of the two people who heard about the boyfriend.
That's fucking crazy. That is crazy.
So it's just like, it's very interesting. And then the other thing that sort of rubbed me the wrong way was when Anisha's like, I'm not a planner. Like, I don't plan. And I just have to say, listening to her podcast about trying to plan her engagement, I'm like, girl, two different messages here because you were like planning your engagement like to the nines. So trying to sit here and say I'm not a planner, like
she froze her eggs. That's planning.
Girl. That's a lie.
I think it's just hard because it's like I feel like, again, I don't know these people very well. We obviously converse through them in person when we interview them, and we converse with them in DMs and stuff like that. So we do have maybe more of a relationship, not to toot our own horn than no offense someone listening. But I don't perceive as Nicholas and Amrit, if you sat down with them off camera and were like, this is my fucking deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't perceive them being like, whispering to a producer and being like, I'm gonna have a gotcha moment in a confessional of releasing all the fucking shit on her life.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like...
No.
And
So what you're trying to say is like, these castmates are like your friends. They're not going to like throw you under the bus and fuck you over.
It's not like Bethany and Ramona where it's just like those two would fucking stab each other in the back.
No, these are not these kind of people. Like no one on this cast is looking. And what are they going to say? Like, they don't even know him. They haven't met him. Like, everyone's happy for you as far as I can tell.
And shame on Bravo for that mug shot that they put on with the guy with the dirty ponytail that looks like he just escaped Sing Sing.
That was...
And it's like, why are you doing Anisha? Okay, and then I'm like, justice for Anisha's boyfriend or husband now? It's like...
Husband, yeah.
Husband. And it's like, I don't know. It kind of felt like, I don't want to say racist, but like, okay, that's a big word. But it just felt like you have someone with this like dirty hair with a shitty ponytail, wearing orange that looks like he's in
like literally it's his mugshot. Literally, it looks like a mugshot.
Am I going too far with that?
No. If you felt that, I felt it too.
But I'm white, so I can't say what's racist for a South Asian.
You can call shit out if you're like, that doesn't feel right.
I don't want to go. It just is like, why not show some guy with like looking like he's living his best life rather than he's in
because we know Anisha is not messing with that guy in the mugshot. From everything we know about her, that's not the guy she's gonna marry.
And it's funny because to counteract that, we're seeing her living her best life in Scottsdale. We're seeing her hike the mountains. And I just say, because my dad lives in Scottsdale, so I kind of know that lifestyle. Hiking cactus are around, swimming in a pool, like that life. And it doesn't go hand in glove with the mugshot that they gave us.
No, it is what it is. I feel like she's getting a villain edit this season. Maybe it's not even just an edit. Like maybe there is some villainous behavior going on. But I just, we'll see. I saw some comments on our Instagram. Someone said something about how they used to love Anisha, but they're feeling disappointed because it feels like she's done with the show and she doesn't care about us as viewers by not sharing this stuff. And I sympathize with that person's comment. I sympathize
with that too.
And I also sympathize like we stated with before. Anisha.
Yes.
Like I do. Yeah. Like, I think maybe on some level, you never really know what it's like to put your life on display until you're actually doing it. And so, yes, she signed up for this and blah, 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 blah. But people are allowed to change their minds. So, like, if she's maybe done with the show, like, maybe she is done with the show. Like, maybe this is her last season and she doesn't want to show her husband. And so she's like, I'm going to end it here. Who knows? And that's her choice too. And maybe that's what's going on. I just feel like I'm just like very confused by a lot of the decisions being made.
Yeah. But she gets married. She got married this summer.
She got married like a month ago. Like literally.
Yeah, she's married.
So
she literally had a photo shoot with her in the ring, which Indra talks about like in an earlier podcast episode.
I think I loved what Vishal said. He kind of said it all. He was like, this isn't a birthday party. Like you're not RSVPing for a birthday party. This is a wedding. And like it was when she came up to say hi to them and they were clearly like ravenously eating and they were like barely even looking at her in the eye. It was like, wow, they are so mad. Like, and as you said, like hurt, very hurt by the whole situation. So that's sad to see.
It is sad because it's like these are just not relationships that were formed by Bravo. I think we have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Because we watch a lot of housewives that it's like, oh, this one's my friend forever. And it's like, oh no, production kind of put you together to introduce the new housewife. Yeah. These are connections that were formed. What was it called? Not diaper babies. I'm not saying Anisha and Vishal are that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Your friends
what was it? Something buddies.
I think I wrote it down.
Yeah.
But these are relationships that began before the show even, was
like
conceived.
The friends were hanging out when you were in their bellies type situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. So let's just quickly talk about Monica and Rish, because they're clearly setting up some problems for them. Rishi looks stressed about about getting engaged. Like,
how old is he again?
So I think at the time of filming he was 26.
So young.
And Monica's 30. There's 3 or 4 years age difference, and Monica talks about her biological clock in this episode. She's like, I don't have the time that he does, and she wants a family. Like, this is very clear, right? So I think that she's just like, and I mean, the amount of people, like, if there's one thing that is just so effing true in my family and any South Asian family, it is, but when are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? The minute you say I'm dating someone, it's when are you going to get married? Or if you're not dating someone, when are you going to get married? It's like the whole thing is around when are you going to get married? Like, more so than even having kids. So Rish has probably been hearing this his whole life, but now that it's actually out there, his relationship is on TV, like everyone's rooting for them to get engaged. Like, the look on his face, like the way he like rubs his forehead and like looks at the ground, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is not ready. He's not. And that's okay.
And I think it's just so hard. I think like this is beautiful. Obviously, like the relationship with Monica and her dad is very beautiful and something I don't really know what that's like to have that strong bond.
Such a bond.
But I could see from his point of view of like, holy shit, I'm not just getting the hard press from Monica, but it's like following right behind is her father's pressure of like, when is this gonna happen?
Oh my God. And he's like planning the wedding already.
Oh
like,
my gosh, you know, that would just like, I would not do well under that pressure.
From season 1, she's talked about how she wants this, and like she's thinking about it. And
so that's a lot. That would be a lot for me. I don't want to speak for him. At 26, I was a mess, though. But like,
well, I think,
I don't know. I wouldn't do well under that pressure.
What I wonder, and what I don't know if we'll ever see, is like, what are the conversations Monica and Rish are having about this? You know, like, is he making promises about, yes, we'll get engaged within the next year, and then not doing it? Or is it like he hasn't made any promises, but Monica assumes that he is going to, like, and how much are they talking about it? We don't know.
We all have the friend that has, you know, dreamt about their wedding. I'm going to gender specific, a female that has dreamt.
Yes.
We've established that you and I were never like that. Dreamt about her wedding, and they go, instead of like the relationship and kind of like giving things time, they jump right into, okay, well, this was my fantasy since I was a little girl.
Yeah. And now it's happening. And
now it's happening. It needs to happen now. It needs to happen yesterday and all this stuff. And then I'm not saying this has happened with Monica, but you're not always taking these. I've seen people that are not taking the cues that this isn't right.
You need to slow down.
You want this so badly, and you feel like the train's going down the track where it's like the passengers haven't even gotten on the train.
But you know what? Like, I see a change in Monica. Like, I think Monica was a little bit more of this like pie in the sky wedding, we need to have it happen, whatever thing. And I felt like she was much more practical even in this episode. Like it's not just about having the wedding. It's like, I want to have kids and I have a biological clock. So like, how do I navigate this? You know, I feel like her relationship to the whole marriage question seems a lot more like practical and reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering if the cheating thing is really just going to be a rumor that's totally unfounded.
Right. We've all seen this on Bravo where it's, you know, you try to, I don't know. It's so hard because, okay, so another thing is, which we've talked about before, is like how people change from season to season, these Bravo celebrity reality stars. Because, okay, so I don't know. It's like, it's the whole chicken or the egg. Was this kind of person always in you that just had to come out with fame and attention? Or is it like, does fame and attention bring out this characteristic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is it? And so it's like...
Yeah, Rishi does not strike me as a very attention-seeking,
I hear
thirsty.
you.
I mean, we had a lovely conversation with him.
You can go back and
like
listen.
a very respectful person. Like, and that's not to say, like, I think anyone has the capacity to cheat. But they're kind like, it sounds like they're making him out to be like a playboy, which I just don't see that from him.
No.
Like,
and there's other like, is it like you're DMing someone? Are you having sex with someone? I mean, there's so many layers.
There's so many. And so also some developments. They are now following each other on Instagram again.
Huh.
And they posted stories. They were clearly both at Rish's restaurant recently, where they met some people in the South Asian community, and they posted separate pictures, but it was from the same location. They were clearly there together.
Okay.
I don't think they're dating again, but I think they're maybe back on friendly terms.
Okay.
But like, so these watch parties. So Anisha and Brian had one. Amrit, Nicholas, Bali, and Monica had one. Rish was not at anyone's watch party. The Parvanis had like a big one, and like Lopanti was there and everybody. But so I think Rish is a little bit on the outs with the group, maybe because of the breakup, potentially. Okay. But I just don't. We'll see how it unfolds. I just don't think that he cheated. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I hopefully not, because that's just...
I think it's much more likely that he's just not ready to get engaged and Monica doesn't want to wait, and that's totally fine. So, I don't know. Richa talks about her sister. Did you notice that?
Yes.
She said, my sister just had a baby and my dad is sick. I thought she was estranged from her sister.
I didn't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I had no idea she had a sister.
Because that was like a whole thing from the second season, was that like her sister had like separated herself from Lopanti and Richa.
Oh, I kind of remember that.
But maybe they're mending fences, but it sounds like she wasn't able to come to the wedding.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was interesting. I'm just flagging that as like, maybe we'll learn more about that later in the season. Let's see. We talked about some of the dancing.
Did we talk about the crickets at the
my God. I wrote that down too.
Oh my gosh. And then it's like the X over it of
I've
like
heard
what
crickets taste good. I have heard that.
Okay. I'm not taste interested. I didn't know they're not alive though, right? They weren't alive. They were done.
And I feel like maybe they salt them or something. I don't really know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we need to talk about Avni, this new woman on the block, because this was quite a big part of the episode.
And she's on Twitter. She joined. She's on Twitter. She's posting.
She's on Twitter. She's on Instagram. She's like really out there on Instagram. Like, she's posting a lot.
Do we know what she does?
So she's a self-help author. She has a book that she wrote about I don't know, but it's like a self-help book. I think it's called Being the Bigger Person. So
okay.
And this is not like a 22-year-old writing this. Like, no, she's 37.
We've discussed, like, this is not a Bachelorette contestant. Yeah. Who's 25 writing the self-help book.
And so we find out that she's coming to the wedding because she's friends with Richa. And Brian, like, remembers her from the engagement party. He remembers what she was wearing.
I know, blue.
I mean, that's such a Brian move too, right?
Yes.
Like, to remember what you're wearing and like kind of call it out. But Dharma Auntie clearly does not like her.
Wow. Why though? That's the thing. I was like, she kind of made fun of her jewelry, and it's like,
so I was going to ask you how you perceived that, because that is such an auntie thing to say. Like, I cannot.
Interesting.
That's the type of shade that
about
Indian
the
women throw at
or
each
just
other.
about physical appearance?
Oh, it's the whole thing. The way my mom disparages like the clothes that other women wear behind their backs is
it's so hard because that's how we're brought up as women.
Yeah.
It's like, and I don't want to, I will generalize. Like, I feel like as women, we're taught to tear each other down.
Yes.
And the easiest thing to go toward is like physical appearance, what you're wearing, what, you know,
and
outfits,
I think it's
jewelry.
like, I think at being someone who like straddles Indian and American culture, like living in both, I think it's 10 times worse in Indian culture than it is even in American culture. Like, I think that it's like, it's almost expected of women to like trash talk each other. And so when she made that comment about her jewelry, I was like, this is the most auntie thing I've ever heard in my life.
Wow. Yeah.
Like,
I was like, that's harsh. I think also, like, I'm wondering if women aren't as readily to say it in Western culture and just think it because our self-esteem is so low.
Yeah, well, it's also like,
whereas, like,
it's not polite to say shit like that, you know? Like,
no, especially on camera.
Oh my God, I know. But the Armonti doesn't give two shits. I mean, that's one thing we know about her.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, is it because of like, because she feels like she's infringing on her son? Or is it just how she feels? I think
we're gonna find out more. I think she was clearly trying to be very diplomatic in some of the confessionals. I think she just doesn't like her.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why.
Well, sometimes you just don't like people. I don't know.
Right.
You know,
they give off
I can't tell from what we saw. Like, I put a poll on her Instagram being like, what do you think of her? And like, the majority of people said they were just kind of meh about her. They didn't like love
like she wasn't bringing anything.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, you know, I don't know.
I think like weddings are for letting loose and getting like, you know, whatever. I was like, you know what? If you're 37 and you're single, make out with a younger dude.
Oh my God, I know. Well,
that's what I thought.
But the other thing was like, she doesn't drink, which is like fine. But I'm like, Brian, how is this gonna work for you? You know, like, is this really the match you're looking for? Like, they don't seem like a good fit, and maybe that was part of what
Do you think it's producers forcing it?
No, I think Brian was genuinely interested in her. Like, he did remember her from the engagement. Like, I think thinks that she's attractive, and, you know,
and she is.
She is. But like, so I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, clearly there's like a scene where they make out in some sort of pantry closet thing, and then but you know, it's interesting. I saw on Instagram that her birthday was yesterday. So she was
happy birthday.
Posting. She was with Richa and some other people celebrating. So she's been posting a lot on Instagram, which, depending on who you are, how you perceive these things, I think people could either see that as she's really good at social media and she's like, you know, got this great whatever. Or some people might perceive it as thirsty, as like, I'm the new kid on the block and I want like the attention from Bravo, like being on this Bravo show.
I feel like if
I don't really have an opinion either way.
I feel like it's just like, why not monetize it? Especially if you're like have a brand of if you have a brand as a self-help person. I mean, like, we were basically forced to watch Bethany carry like a skinny girl fucking snowboard. Go up the mountain, have skinny girl parties, like eat skinny girl bologna, watch her try on skinny girl fucking jeans. It's like, if this woman's doing like 1,000 times less than that, like, who cares?
No, exactly. I mean, exactly. It's like, I think
like literally Bethany has skinny girl bologna. Okay.
At this point, if someone's going to be on reality TV and not monetize it or like make it, like, turn it into an opportunity to monetize something, like, I'm like, what are you doing? You're like wasting
we have
time.
Drop It with Drew, like who doesn't even do the workouts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta have a brand. You gotta have
Just
something.
Like, go forth. You know,
go forth.
Be thirsty.
So we'll see. I think the verdict is out on her, but clearly there's this tension with Dharma Auntie, which is interesting. So let's see what else happened. That's kind of something we want to talk about. Okay, so Vishal's drinking.
Okay, so
that's
basically the episode ended with Vishal, tossing back the drinks.
Yep.
And, you know, a lot of people were like, on Twitter at least, were like, stop. And a lot of people were like, it's his wedding. Like, he's allowed to kind of go hard.
I know. It was an interesting... So I think I'm on both sides because on one, I'm like, this is like such an Indian parent thing. Like, don't drink, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's like... Vishal is a grown fucking man.
Yes,
exactly. If he wants to drink at his wedding events and like have fun with his friends, he can fucking do that. And like just stop, you know, like whatever. Like Richa being like, I need you to stop. That's a different thing.
Yes.
Because this is their celebration, but the parents need to like fucking stay out of it.
I think the parents need to the parents need to stay out of it. And I think Richa's like, I need you to make it through the night.
Yeah, like I need you to be able to walk down the aisle tomorrow.
Yes. And that is totally understandable because also Richa knows they've been together 10 years. She knows how he gets if he has this amount of drinks.
Exactly. And so I think that was like totally legit. Then there's the issue of like, do you need to take 15 shots at the beach party?
Oh my gosh. That's and I think we have to remember that this is the gang's first time recording.
Yeah.
And so there has to be this underlying stress of like, I have cameras in front of me. It's my wedding.
Yeah.
The aunties are at full force. Like there's tension. I need to have some drinks to kind of lubricate the emotions, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, your mic sounds funny to me. Maybe it's just on my end. I think it's just my end.
Okay. Does it sound funny still now?
It's like staticky, but I think it's just the connection.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like Vishal said he didn't drink for 6 weeks leading up to the wedding to kind of like cleanse himself or whatever. And now he's going like super hard.
Let's be honest, Vishal didn't want the like he wanted his skin to look good. He wanted to work out. He wanted to look his best, and alcohol doesn't
help with that. No.
And I wish he said that rather than like, oh, mentally it's like, yes, but physically alcohol.
Yeah.
You wanted to not have it affect your physical appearance.
Totally. And it worked. He looks great.
Yes. He looks great.
But like, yeah, I mean, so I think it's like he can make his own decisions. When it becomes an issue is like with Richa and like, how is this affecting your life and stuff like that. And so I think it's a little bit of both. Right. And, like this is clearly a through line though in their relationship, like a problem that they encounter a lot around partying. It reminds me of Kyle and Amanda from Summer House.
Bro, that's dark. Dark.
But
are they the one in the new Marshalls ad? Is he have blonde hair and she has blonde hair?
Yeah. Are they in a Marshalls ad together?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
If you watch it on the app, it's like it's a holiday ad and he's like, I hid presents and there are all these Marshall bags and she goes around. And I was like, I think this is who Indra talks about.
Let's talk about monetizing right there. Getting that Marshall's paycheck.
Go.
Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. The last thing I want to say is those throwback pictures of Anisha and Bali were everything.
Oh my gosh.
Everything. I was like,
I love it.
This is a thing, and maybe you can relate to as an Italian. Indian girls, like at a certain age, we almost have too much hair. Like it's like too much.
Are we talking on our bodies? Because I agree with that very much, especially on our bodies.
Well, on our bodies, but also like on our head. Like I feel like I had too much hair at one point that I couldn't deal with it. And I think
it's just like, at least with like Italian hair is not really straight.
Yeah.
So you have like, you don't know how to manage it when you're going through puberty and your hair starts to get wavy,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah. And it's like
are we talking about
untamable.
ugly periods of our lives?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're like,
100%.
I can't deal with this. Like, I don't know. And like Anisha and Bali's hair, I was just like, these two.
And then you slap on braces and you're just like,
oh my God.
It's ugly.
It's over.
It gets ugly.
It's over.
Yeah. And it's not a great time in our lives to look in the mirror.
Okay. Can I tell you some highlights from Watch What Happens Live?
Yes.
Okay. So, Wendy was asked who she connected with the most at BravoCon, and she was like, in the spirit of family karma, I really enjoyed Brian. She like loved Brian.
Oh my God.
Everybody loves Brian. Can we just say everybody loves Brian?
He's very charming.
He's so charming, and it's like real. He's like a genuine charming person.
I don't want to call him a sweet boy, but he is a sweet boy.
He is a sweet boy. We love you, Brian. Vishal looked great, by the way. He had a really nice outfit
what was he wearing?
on. It was an Indian like male fancy outfit. And
incredible.
He looked really, really good. Andy acknowledged that like the family karma gang at BravoCon got a ton of love. So he like actually said that, which was good. Vishal said that he really loved hanging with the guys from Summer House, like Kyle and Carl and Luke and those guys.
Does that mean he was drinking?
Of course. And then also he liked from Vanderpump Tom and Ariana, which is not a surprise to me.
They're so down to earth.
They're like the only people I like on that show.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So there were questions about like, you were so drunk. What do you think about that? And Vishal was like, I think I was the appropriate amount of drunk for being a groom at my wedding. So that's how he feels about that, which again, I see the two sides of that I just mentioned.
And there is TBD. I mean, we don't know how he walks down the aisle. I mean, he doesn't walk down the aisle. We don't know, like...
He looks great in the photos.
Yeah,
I'm going to assume it goes just fine, but... He thought it was weird that Monica roomed with her dad instead of Rishi, which
that's not my taste, but that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah,
I would want to be shacked up with my boyfriend.
Yeah,
but
Rishi seemed a little upset about it. I've been sharing a room with my
father since I was like 18 years old.
I know. Part of me was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, but I also understand why she did that.
They have a relationship that I've never experienced.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
So.
Yeah. He thought that Avni rejecting Brian's kiss was appropriate for the first night.
Yes.
A fan asked one of the questions was, have your balls dropped? Because remember that was like something that Richa said, and he was like, yes, my balls have dropped to the ground.
And that's the thing with Vishal has a sense of humor.
Yes,
with
he can totally make fun of
himself.
Totally. Yeah. So then there's the questions about Anisha and the falling out.
Okay.
And so it's what led you to drifting apart? He says it was the clash from season 1 where Amrit and Anisha were kind of trying to claim him as a best friend. That's kind of where it started. What did he think about seeing Anisha feeling rejected when she showed up at the wedding on screen? And he said that it was what it was, and like he shouldn't have had to chase her for an RSVP to his wedding. And then they were like, were you hurt that she didn't tell you about her boyfriend? He was like, I wasn't hurt about that, but I think she should have told him that was why she couldn't make a decision until the week of the event.
Exactly.
Like, that's all he wanted, really. He's surprised that Anisha is on the platform and still won't share the stuff about her life because he does it all the time with Richa.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that's part of it. He still hasn't met her husband. And he said, I think she's protecting him from us. He said that, which is interesting. Like,
yeah. Did Andy ask him to elaborate?
No, it was that. And then that was it. I wish he had. That would have been a good question, Andy. And how has she changed? He said, well, she got a guy, and what did she get him for the wedding? And she hasn't gotten them a present yet, which is fine. You have a whole year. The year is coming up. Then there were some other things about like people. So he mentioned a couple times with relation to Lopa Auntie that like he wishes she would stop calling him stupid in public all the time.
That's the word that I have a very low tolerance for in my house.
Yeah.
Like you can't call other people stupid because I have like 2 kids and
she calls him stupid all the time.
I know.
And it hurts him. And he said it twice that he doesn't like it that she does that. She wants her to just like be proud of him and like him. And it's just, so that's an ongoing tension there. They asked, who is the castmate that has let fame go to their head the most? And he said Bali.
Wow.
Which, I think Bali has embraced her Bravo celebrity status in an appropriate way. Okay. And I would expect no less. And but it doesn't seem thirsty to me. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but you know what seems thirsty is the men on New Jersey.
Yeah,
like that is like we're comparing Bali to those guys.
No.
Those guys are just like
they were talking
about doing a Jersey, like a house husband Jersey spinoff.
Yes.
And I was like,
oh my God.
The fuck would want to watch that?
I'm so glad you said that because that's really what we need to be talking about here. Not who on Family Karma is like the most thirsty.
Yes. It's like you look at those guys and it's like the scenes with just them are the scenes that no one asked for.
No. Oh my God.
And not to mention they're touring.
I know they go on tour and Joe just goes around like saying offensive shit all over the country.
I know, and being offensive. And then what's his name? I was going to call him Luke. His name's not Luke. Louis is just like a little gremlin.
No.
Like not leaving Teresa's side. And every interview I read that at Bravo, like they were just fucking like
together.
2 peas in a pod. That's thirsty.
We know why
Don't
that
even
was.
Come at me with
you
Bali.
know why that was is because he's trying to control her like every move.
Yes, this is like the cult leader. There's a good in What We Do in the Shadows where I forget what his name is. Who's the guy from Portlandia? Why am I blanking on his
Fred
name?
Armisen.
Fred Armisen basically controls this like pop star vampire, and that reminds me so much of their relationship. It's like jokes on us about like I never want to see those. I mean, I'm sure they're amicable guys except for Joe Giudice. Like that's thirsty.
Yep, agree. Asked, did he consummate the marriage during the thing, and they said we're gonna find out in the next episode. And then there was
like he was too drunk to have sex.
Yeah, I think we'll see. There was kind of an uncomfortable moment. A fan asked how his like underwear dance party line was going, and he said it was going really well. And he was like, Andy, like we should get you some. It'll make your butt look really good. And Andy was like, so you don't think my butt looks good? And it was like, Vishal was like, no, it does look good, but like, it'll just like make you, like lift your butt even more and like make you look like a full blown zaddy. And Andy was just like so rude. He was like, yeah, no, he just like had this look on his face. Like you offended me.
Gosh.
And then he said something about him being stupid. Like
what?
There was this whole through line through the whole Watch What Happens Live episode where it was like, Vishal, Lopa Auntie's on the line. She says you're stupid. Like it was said like 3 or 4 times, like to kind of rub it in.
Well, this is just like it is, not to use the B word, but it is bullying at a little bit. If you look at the modern,
and Vishal said it. He was like, "You need to stop," and Andy was like, "Yeah, I do." It was
because if you look like bullying, like now it's very well defined in elementary schools and stuff. And I'm just learning this through my kids. And it's like there's such little tolerance, and there should be, for picking on people and using these words to define them like stupid.
Yeah.
And imagine if he called Teresa stupid.
No, I mean,
Louis stupid.
No, it was like,
which like, no offense, but like,
no,
there's not a lot going on in Louis's brain. And I know I'm picking on Louis, but like, you know what I mean?
No, it's totally true. I mean, it was Vishal did say like, please stop, basically, and Andy was like, yeah, I should stop. But
I want that clip because I want to post it on Twitter and be like,
it was sort of subtle. I mean, it was clear Andy like still does not give two shits about family karma, which is like annoying and like whatever, it is what it is. So what we want now is we want at a long season,
in person,
at least 12 to 14 episodes, at least. Yeah. We need a reunion. We need in-person watch what happens live. We need all of the promo. We need everything.
We need Andy to remember how to pronounce everyone's names.
Yeah, we need him to watch the show. Yeah.
And we need him to, I'll just say, talk to his buddy John Mayer about dating a 22-year-old.
Oh, who is he dating? Who is he dating?
He's dating the girl from Mad Men and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh my God.
Kiernan.
He's dating?
Yeah.
Kiernan
they have been packed
Shipka?
together. He's older than me.
Okay, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's gross. She's like literally less than half his age.
We saw her as like basically a 6-year-old on television.
Wow.
Okay, so Andy, go talk to your buddy about that.
Yeah, Andy, why don't we call out that stupid behavior, because that's stupid.
Yes!
That is legit. Like Lopanti called. That's stupid.
Yes. You want to hear something stupid? Is like we'll call him successful friend who supposedly is like through this like emotional, like over the rainbow, and is now like mature, is dating a 22-year-old. Okay.
You know how I feel about John Mayer. Fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. So
fuel to the fire, baby.
These are the things we like to talk about when we're not talking about family karma. So subscribe to our podcast if you're not already. We love talking about all pop culture.
And we love the DMs. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you have any like inside information on any of the shows.
Oh yeah, our DMs are open on Instagram and Twitter, Family Karma Cast with a K.
Tweet about family karma.
Thank you to our Patreon family who is still supporting us. It's like huge that it just covers our like basic costs for the podcast, which is like amazing. Like, thank you to everyone who has been listening since day one. Thank you if you've left a comment or a review.
We need everyone to rate and review and tell a friend.
Yes, please rate and review. It takes 2 seconds. You can do it on Spotify. You can do it on Apple Podcasts. I believe those are like the two main platforms, I think, that allow reviews. And yeah, reach out to us. We love to talk with you all.
Tell your friends abroad.
Yes.
Let's make these people huge celebrities in
It is streaming in Australia and the UK. I hope it's streaming in India. I think it is.
It has to be. It's I think there's this I think it is.
And it's obviously
at least the previous seasons.
It's in Canada, it's here. Like, tell everyone, not just your South Asian friends. Like,
yeah.
It's really like a show for everyone. And I think like it's just so refreshing. It's so refreshing to see this type of content on Bravo.
It's so refreshing after the darkness that we saw in New York.
Yes.
And just like getting out of, we don't want to be there.
No.
We've moved far beyond that. And we were never there. So tell your friends who are complaining about where Bravo is headed about this.
Yes, exactly. And stay tuned. Next week we'll have another podcast recap of the next episode. Let us know like the topics you want us to cover, or tweet at us like
any questions you have, and we can reach out to the cast.
Yeah. And we'll probably try and have some of the cast on at some point too, if we can manage that at some point.
Yeah.
I'm still like I have a 1 week old baby at home, so I'm managing what I can right now. Like
it's incredible.
The Instagram and the podcast. But we love you all. Thank you so much for listening, and namaste, bitches.
Namaste, bitches.